Oh, good. Nah, it's too Jacksepticeye. Hey, evening, everyone, and happy late St. Patrick's Day. Yeah, I know it's well. By the time this video hits YouTube, it's gonna be past St. Patrick's Day. However, I wanted to do something for the holiday thing as well. Let's see, I've done in Christmas specials. I've done Halloween in themed videos. Oh, maybe it's time I get to another holiday, one that a lot of people actually celebrate excessively. By that, I mean St. Patrick's Day. Now, for most of us in America, this holiday is basically an excuse to drink like crazy. However, to the Irish, it's a very special time, seeing as it's a date in which the Saint, like, yeah, Saint Patrick cast out or banished every snake out of Ireland, therefore making it the one place in the world where snakes are not found. Go to Ireland yourself and look around. Can't find any snakes. Actually, even look it up on in line. But Ireland has a lot of interesting cultural beliefs, especially for St. Patrick's Day. Like, I don't know. Oh, if someone's not wearing green on St. Patrick's Day, they are to be pinched until they do wear green. I don't know why. I think it has something to do with green being a color representing good luck. Seeing as most creatures in Irish folklore are green or have something to do with the color green, such as leprechauns, banshees, and so on and so forth. Now, I've comprised a list of the top of 7 creatures of Irish folklore. Why 7? Because 7's a lucky number. And believe me, this list is going to have the majority of superstitious good luck, bad luck situations. Now, keep in mind, I don't know that much about Irish mythology myself, except for maybe a couple of entries on this list I know very well about. But let's get started at number 10, which is the Selkie, or Silkie. In Irish, Scottish, and Faroe, Faroe is folklore. The Selkie is basically supposed to be a seal, that sheds its skin to become human on land. Now, this is very similar to the legend of swan maidens, in which by removing their skin they can become human. And according to Wikipedia, the Selkie is similar to mermaids and sirens in life. Understandable. Male Selkies are described as being very handsome in their human form and having great seductive powers over human women. They typically seek those who are dissatisfied with their lives, such as married women waiting for their fisherman husbands. If a woman wishes to make contact with a Selkie male, she must shed 7 tears into the sea. If a man steals a female Selkie's skin, she is in his power and is forced to become his wife. Kind of reminds me of another legend. although what happened and after that didn't quite end so well. Now, let's see, theories and origins. Of course, all these, right, of course, this myth has to do something with the old mythology of sailors. There's being out at sea so long that they start to hallucinate. Like with mermaids, sailors kind of mistook seals as beautiful women. I don't know, between you and me, I think it had a little too much in the high seas. Now on to number 6. Oops. Yeah, I know I said this is the top 7, unless I made a miscount. Anyway, number 6. The salmon of knowledge. Also known as the big fish, this is a figure in the Fenian cycle of Irish mythology. The background for this is that there was a salmon that gained the knowledge of the world. Let me start that again. According to the story, an ordinary salmon ate 9 hazelnuts that fell into the well of wisdom from 9 hazel trees that surrounded it. By doing this, the salmon gained all of the world's knowledge, making it incredibly intelligent. And according to legend, any person who eats of its flesh would in turn gain in the salmon's knowledge. Now, I placed it at number 6 rather than higher up because let's face it, this is basically a fish. Fish that has superhuman intelligence, or omnipotent intelligence, I guess would be the appropriate phrase. But there is one small thing I can compare this myth with another. That would be the German story of Sigmund and Fafner, in which the hero Sigmund then cooks a fish that, after he touches it and burns his finger, is able to understand all animals. Well, afterwards. I might be wrong on that. I don't know. Oh, for sure. Now on to number 5, which is, I'm going to mispronounce this one too. The Marrow Irish mermaid. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot I mentioned here, other than the fact that it's basically an Irish mermaid. Yeah, it's just basically an Irish mermaid. If you don't know what that is, I kind of pity you. Anyway, on to number 4, which is the cat set. Now, this is a very interesting a legendary creature of Irish folklore, or Scottish folklore in this case. Why on earth is it in the Scottish folklore? Oh, Celtic. That makes sense. The cat sith, or Catsea, in Irish mythology, is a fairy creature said to resemble a large black cat with a white spot on its breast. Some common folklore suggests that the cat sith is not a fairy, but a witch that could transform into a cat 9 times. Now, let's see if there's anything else about it. According to an old British folktale, King of the Cats, the cat sith is actually mentioned in the story. And I think you can find it in the Alvin Schwartz collection of scary stories. I believe would be a perfect source. And before I move on to number 3, actually the big 3, I have one small thing to mention. On Samhain, which is the old Irish version of Halloween, and just cut it right here for a second and pause the list. I want to take this opportunity to bring in a lot of us who aren't quite familiar with the history of Halloween up to date. Halloween used to be an Irish holiday where people would come to remember the dead. And Samhain is one of these festivals. Although in Trick or Treat, Samhain is the monster. I guess since I put him in my top 10 scariest monsters list 2 years ago. But anyway, on Samhain, it was believed that a cat sith would bless any house that left a saucer of milk out for it to drink. But those houses that did not leave a saucer will be cursed into having all their cows' milk dry. Ignore that. That some people believed that the cat sith was a witch that could transform voluntarily into its cat form and back 8 or 9 times. If one of these witches chose to go back into the cat form on the 9th time, they would remain a cat for the rest of their lives. It's believed that that this is how the idea of a cat having 9 lives originated. Although I beg to differ. Cats have only 1 life, but are extremely clever in a way that they can basically live through some very interesting and sometimes gruesome dilemmas. What? Come here. Speaking of cats, I beseech you, for you are trying to grow and my video, aren't you? This little ball of fur and spit is my Persian Annie. And I think I know why you are now. It's because you keep seeing yourself in the mirror. Ever see those Steve Cash 83 talking kitty cat videos? Those he probably has the same problems I do with mine. A cat. That come out where I did it. Anywho, while someone is eating, I'm gonna continue. Now on to number 3. And begin with my top 3. These are the ones I know about the most, seeing as they kind of represent themselves in interesting ways. And number 3 is the Dullahan. Not for not the thoroughbred racehorse, but the Dullahan is a headless rider, usually on a black horse, who carries his or her, yeah, there's a female version of these, his or her own head under one arm. The head's eyes are small, black, and constantly dart about like flies, while the mouth is constantly in a hideous grin that touches both sides of the head. The flesh of the head is said to have the color and consistency of moldy cheese. Ew. The Dullahan uses the spine of a human corpse as for a whip, and their wagon is adorned with funeral objects, such as candles and skulls to light the way, and the spokes of the wheels are made from thigh bones. The wagon's covering them, they immediately perish. Wait a minute. Headless rider, black horse, announces somebody dies. My stop. Sounds like this could be where the Headless Horseman legend came from. Let's think about it this way. It's a harbinger of death that has no head. Actually, it doesn't have a head, but carries its own head and under one arm. Maybe I should add this one in my holding special for monsters. And it continues. There is no way to bar the road against a Dullahan. All locks and gates open to them when they approach. They do not appreciate being watched while on their errands, throwing a basin of blood on those who dare to do so. Often a mark that they are among the next to die. Great, so if you spy on them, you're dead too. Or even lashing out the watcher's eyes with their human spine lips. No way. Okay, here's how you can drive one away. A Dullahan is afraid of gold. Even a single golden pin can drive it away. What is your problem? Elena. I'll be right back. You, out of the bathroom. I don't give you food. Here, I'll give you ours. I swear my cats are doing that just to bug me. Let's see. Any mentions of the double hammer? Basically, actually, quite a bit. As well as with number 2. Okay, the Dullahan is made in a slight appearance, although it's not mentioned as the Dullahan, in the 1959 Disney film Darby O'Gill and the Little People, which actually starred Sean Connery, the original James Bond, and then voice of Draco the Dragon from Dragonheart. Although the Dullahan's not mentioned by name, it's portrayed as the headless rider of the I cannot do these. Death Coach. Okay, that's another word. Say it. The original word for this is Christ Folder, which basically translates into Death Coach. As well as in the 1999 Hallmark movie, The Magical Legend of the Leprechauns, and where a troop of leprechauns make a brief encounter with one, as well as the Dullahan having numerous Castlevania game appearances. And I know she's going to start meowing again. I can feel it. In the 2006 video game Blue Dragon, the Dullahan is a robotic headless centaur who is the mini boss on the road to Gibraltar. I have no idea about that. And there's even a Yu-Gi-Oh! Trading card named the Ghost Rick Dullahan. And from the Irish Headless Horseman, we go on to number 2, which is a very, very scary creature. In fact, this man on the Shelter Crick's top 11 childhood scares, I think. At number 2, it's the Banshee, which is a female spirit of Irish mythology, usually seen as an omen of death and a messenger from the underworld. Now, for all of us who don't know what a Banshee is, let me put it to you this way. It's a ghostly, wailing woman who basically moans and wails if someone is about to die. In Scottish mythology, she's known as the Beansett or Bean Nay or Night. I don't know how to pronounce the word. It's spelled look like night but ends in E instead of T. And they're seen washing the blood-stained clothes or armor, of those who are about to die. Alleged sightings of banshees have been recorded since 1948. Similar beings are also found in Welsh Norse and United States folklore. Great, there's American banshees that I live with 3. Basically, like the Dullahan, the Banshee, it tells you when you're about to die just by appearing. But don't worry, I've saved one that's good for the last. This entry. And number one, it's the leprechaun. And which is basically the mascot of St. Patrick's Day, in all things. Now we all know what the leprechaun is. It's a type of fairy, usually depicted as a little old man, wearing a coat and hat that's all green and usually has red hair. Who partake in mischief. They are solitary beings who spend their time making and mending shoes, basically making them cobblers, and having a hidden pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And this is the part that kind of confused me the most. I thought, okay, in the comment section, say this if you agree with me. If captured by a human, and the captured leprechaun has the ability to grant them either 3 wishes or give them a pot of gold in exchange. Again, I'm a little confused on that. I always thought that when you catch a leprechaun, they give you their pot of gold. Or not grant you 3 wishes. But leprechaun things are pretty interesting, in my opinion. And of course, we all know why. Since they made their movie appearance in various films, particularly the Leprechaun films, as well as being the mascot for Lucky Charms. Now, there's one more thing I should mention about this. I have seen numerous portrayals of the leprechaun. Other than being a mischievous little scamp and somewhat annoying at times, to a horrific goblin-like entity, and stop at nothing until it gets back its goal. By that I mean the Leprechaun films. Starring the same, well, basically starring the same guy who is in Willow and one of the Ewoks in the original Star Wars. As I found out. Thank you, little angry video game nerd. And of course, I've also seen Leprechaun Origins, which in my mind is a big disappointment since I didn't get the same guy to do the Leprechaun. They didn't want to look like one, did it? The Santa Claus Rare exports that look like big Santa Claus either. Oh well. But before I end this list, I do have one more portrayal of the leprechaun and to mention. That being Liam from the YouTube series The Annoying Orange, and of course the leprechauns from the Viking episode of The Annoying Orange. The one that had the best voice of Eddie Izzard, or maybe Rick Gervais, I don't know. or some British guy, as well as a hidden voice is by Jim Cummings. Actually, hold on just a minute. I think I have it around somewhere. Oh man, this one's gonna be hilarious. And excuse me one more time. I hope that the girls leave them in the room. But you don't know about the episode, right? Or the annoying orange and everyone else are Vikings traveling into Greenland. No, damn it. Okay, there's numerous Leprechaun videos of the annoying orange, but I'm trying to find the one I was thinking about. Where is it? Where is it? There's my tip about the battery. And what the hell it doesn't all look up on Google. And I know which one I'm talking about too. It's not letting me show it. Wait a minute. Yeah, like you guys can see this episode for yourself. But I am going to see if I can get the audio. Just as a side note, I really like the Irish accent. For some odd reason, I find it hilarious. God damn it, it's Danish. You know what? I couldn't find it on Cartoon Network. It's a Cartoon Network show. Good, where the should come from. Commercials. Here it is.
Don't throw snowballs at your kids. That's a rule. It's one of the unwritten rules. Shut up.
Oh, damn it. Damn it, does that. Okay, what are we going to do? I don't know why. I'm smiling like this. That's kind of funny. Oh, don't worry. I'll make the next video a review. Oh, something. In fact, I'm going to try and redo the Steven Universe review.
Don't throw snowballs at your kids. That's a rule. It's one of the unwritten rules. Shut up. You're about to say Big Steve. It is. All right. Do not get your knickers in a twist, alrighty? Now, Steve, because I'm a king, I've got a plan in my head to get back the pot of gold. So it's okay. Just chill. Alright, orange is a great big orange. Let's do some horse trick. In exchange for the pot of gold, I will give you 3 wishes.
3 wishes?
No, not 3 wishes. 3 wishes. 1, 2, 3.
Oh, you talk funny.
Well, I can't believe you, mate. Alright, give me your 3 wishes. And remember, no wishes for more wishes or anything stupid like that. I want another pot of gold. Because everyone's done that and that's been in everything. And that's not going to happen.
Oh, wish, careful.
Do not rush into anything, Orange. Think before you wish.
Don't worry, Pear. Orange faith that he'll make the wisest choice. Hey, I like all this kissing up.
Yeah, alright, it's all fantastic, isn't it? Alright. So, what now? What do you wish for?
I wish for a pot of gold.
Look, I told you, no wishing for more.
Nerds.
Pots of gold, you silly orange thing.
Okay, I wish for 100 more wishes.
No. I'm sorry, I just don't find that. No. Jim coming a bit funny. I don't know why. Maybe you expect him to be Irish. His accents.
What? I can't believe this is really going to work. No wishing for more wishing. Either. You can't do either of the last two things you did.
Come on, Orange. Wish for something we can use, like riches or kingdoms or limbs, stuff like that.
Guys, little help.
Okay, I wish for a pinwheel.
Alrighty, mate.
Well, that was the segment I wanted to use. Anyway, I hope you all have a good and happy St. Patrick's Day. Eve, might be a little late. And I promise I'll try and do a Steam Universe review after this. But as usual, I'd like to end the video with my usual saying. And like, comment, subscribe on my channel. Leave comments below what you want me to do next. Hopefully after the review. And I'll be sure to get on into it. And until then, this has been Long Night One. And then saying never mind. And this is the Long Night One saying good night.